Hey guys, welcome back to the video series where we teach you how to get the Eastwood plasma table for free.
And this time we're cutting automotive brackets and all sorts of cool stuff.
Yes, it's going to be a good one.
Love it.
Probably the most applicable industry for a plasma table like this is going to be the automotive world.
Yeah, suspension brackets, tool hanging, wall mount things.
Organizing for shops.
Like, all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, the possibilities are literally endless. Whatever you can think of making to make your life easier in the shop, whether it's a bracket or it's an organizer that mounts on the wall, you can make with this machine if you have a good file for it. So one of the biggest things are going to be simple brackets like these. Now, a lot of these come preloaded on this machine for you, where you can change the inner diameter, the outer diameter, you can change the whole profile of this piece, and people are selling cases of these just cut like this with slag and everything still on them from the plasma table. And they're selling a case of 50 of these for 150 bucks. So that's money right there. The sheet is probably going to cost you 30 bucks. And you spend a day cutting a bunch of these and list them online and you've paid for the machine very quickly. So it's not just axle brackets or tabs like these. There's even shapes like this. This is very small because we wanted to shrink it down and see how it would cut. But you could do this in any gauge, any size, and change all these settings around to get different size holes, different size square. And I mean, you could use these for various things.
Yeah. Leaf spring plates, sandwich plates for like a cage to sandwich the floor.
Yep.
I don't know. It just keeps going.
You could literally make anything. And then
just a 4-bolt flange.
Yep. And then even down to something like this. You know, this almost resembles like a thermostat flange.
It does. The other thing it also reminds me of is if you're a Jeep guy on like a YJ or TJ, the bead A-pillar bars that bolt to the windshield.
That's right. Yep.
I feel like DOM goes here, and then you got your bolts.
Yep, and that's
Obviously,
it.
thicker gauge. But.
Yeah, you can take any of these files and you can make them in, you know, this thing will cut up to 1/4 inch.
I think it was 1/4 inch, like
Pierce
cut. I think it can go thicker though if you start off the sheet.
Yeah, it'll cut thicker if you do the cut from off the sheet or you put a hole on the panel and start it on the hole.
Yeah. I think the cut cleanliness degrades a little bit when you get past that, but it's doable.
It's absolutely doable. In addition to parts and fabrication needs like these, there's also organization and shop management products that you can create with this. You can do hangers for air tools. You can do hangers for angle grinders. You can do perforated plates for a grinding station if you put a vacuum underneath it or a fan for an exhaust. I mean, there are tons. If you go online and search CNC table files for organization, there are millions, and I mean millions of file types out there and designs to do a bracket around your welding bottle to hold your extra materials. It's limitless.
Yeah, and chances are if you're watching this video, you've already gone down a rabbit hole at least once.
Yes, I've been down that.
So many cool things.
I've been down that rabbit hole. And one of the greatest things that Eastwood is working on getting a file library together that they can provide their customers who buy this table. I've got a file from them that's on its way where I can cut a foldable tab that I can mount on the wall and it'll hold all my air tools. And I also have one to hold an angle grinder on the wall. So I can take that piece, put a magnet on the back or weld it or screw it to the back of my toolbox, the side of my workbench, and hang all my angle grinders.
I like that.
Yes, it's very nice. It's very convenient.
Can we have an angle grinder for each type of disc?
That'd be great. Just keep swapping them out when you need them. So you never have to take the face off again.
Home garage goals.
I love it. So you might be wondering, okay, I've got the file, I've got the table. How do I sell these parts? I have sold parts, I have sold digital files, I have sold print-on-demand stuff, and the most valuable marketplace that I have found for products like these that you can make with this table is Etsy, Facebook Marketplace, and there are some independent sites where you can list your products as well. But Etsy, Amazon, and Facebook Marketplace are going to be the big three. Etsy is super easy. You just post a picture, make an account, and when someone wants it, they place an order and you get an email saying, hey, send it here.
Get to work.
Get to work. You've got an order. But most of these places, it's free to list. I really, really advocate for making your own stuff and selling your own stuff. So when you get into the market of making and selling products that you've cut with this machine, list it anywhere you can, because the more places you list it, it's casting a big net. You're going to get more people looking at your product, and the more eyes on it, the more chance of conversion and paying this thing off so you can start making some money.
Just don't put a checkbox for rush delivery if you're not ready to do it.
Yeah, don't do that. We'll leave that off. Make sure you give yourself enough time. What I like to do is if I'm making something to sell, I like to have it ready to go before I list it. I know a lot of people do it on demand. So when it happens, they list it. I like to get the product made, take the pictures of the product, get it packaged so it's ready to roll. And all I have to do is put a label of where it's going, and it's gone. So,
which for stuff like this with generic tabs and that kind of stuff, that's easy to do.
Yeah, I mean,
that's different in some of the custom stuff.
Absolutely. I mean, if you have 3-inch tabs, 4-inch tabs, 5-inch tabs in various sizes, and you have them listed, you could just spend a weekend and cut a couple hundred of each and put them on the shelf and wait till they get ordered. And that's probably the best workflow to profit. So spend a weekend, cut a bunch of parts, take the pictures of each of the parts, put it online, and then you're ready to go. You have an inventory with very minimal time invested.
And material, really.
And material, because, one sheet
of 1/4 inch or whatever you use.
Yeah, I mean, one sheet is pretty inexpensive. So now you're probably asking yourself, what about pricing? How do I price my products? Again, that is something very personal, and that is also something very regional. If you're in an area where a product that you want to sell is very popular, chances are the price isn't going to be super competitive. You're going to have to get into the market price and try to find your niche in that market. A product that I could sell here for $5 a piece might not sell somewhere where there's a bunch of people making that product. So you want to try to find a product that isn't selling a whole lot, that doesn't take a lot of initial time to produce, and you can make it very inexpensive so that your profit margin is a lot higher. I've seen people sell a whole case of like 50 tabs in a certain dimension for around $100, $150. So there is profit to be made. You just have to figure out which one is the one you want to invest in. All right, guys, that wraps up this part of the videos talking about automotive parts you can make with the machine. Come back for the next one and we'll teach you some more.